Hi folks, this is Sebastian. I'm together here with Roger, and we're in the STOL CH701, and we recently upgraded this airplane with new streamlined struts. And today is a beautiful day, nice calm morning, so what we're going to be doing is taking it around the patch a few times to try to get some numbers on our cruise performance after installing the streamlined struts. So we've got our GPSs with us, a few cameras, and we'll kind of do an in-air report about flying with the new struts.
Hey, Mexico traffic, Experimental 701 is going to be departing runway 18. We'll be a local flight from Mexico.
All right, we'll do a short takeoff here. Flaps down, stick back, add power, nose comes up. Keep on adding power, just let her go.
That's pretty cool because we're two of us and we're not super lightweight anymore, and
right.
That was still about 100 feet takeoff roll, kind of fun. And again, this is Roger's original 701. We've got the 100 horsepower Rotax 912 ULS engine in it, and then we've got these new streamlined struts on the airplane. So that's, again, it's still a high lift airplane as a short takeoff show, but we're trying to go a little bit faster, and like Roger had mentioned in his last video about that, some of the advantages with the streamlined struts, better corrosion resistance and so forth. Now today's a pretty calm day, as you can see out here, not a single cloud in the sky, and so we're going to use our GPS. We're going to do a few track runs, cruise RPM, and see what kind of speed we get out of this.
So let's stay down low first. We know there's less wind here than there is up above.
But we actually have 4 GPSs on board this airplane because the Garmin Verb cameras both are each GPS enabled, and then Roger has an Android smartphone and I have an iPhone. So we'll set our, I'm going to use ForeFlight, which is a pretty good nav app for that.
Except mine's in knots. I'm not used to knots.
Oh, is that right? So we'll let Roger set up, get a certain RPM, hold an altitude, and hold a heading, I suppose, what we'll want to do.
Let's do an east heading.
Okay, do east, so basically 090.
Correct.
Okay, I've got the ForeFlight on here.
And we're cruise
right at
5,500 RPM, which is continuous cruise. So we get a level flight here.
Okay, so I'm showing, 88, 89 degrees, 1,000, nearly 1,100 feet. Showing 90, 91, 90, 92. And hopefully we'll do the overlay with the cameras, with the GPS. They should basically be showing the same information. Yeah, we're basically low 90s, so that's nice. So, but we may have a bit of a tailwind or a bit of a headwind, so
we'll do it to the north now, which should be a little tailwind.
Right, we took off to the south, so. Okay, and now we want 360 heading. Okay, you're right on the heading, same altitude. Ooh, you're looking at 97, 98 miles an hour, so we do have a bit of a tailwind.
Okay, 98, so just remember that.
Yeah, 98, and we can...
That way we can get all the 4 and average it.
Yeah, 97, okay. Now, I guess we're doing a west heading, 270. Don't want to follow the train track because that goes diagonal here.
Air sector 058.
Okay. Now we're back to 90, 89, 88, 90, yep. So pretty much those two, I guess, this one's just a little bit slower than the eastbound track.
I'm indicating, you know, in the 90s.
Right, yep. 90 miles an hour on the GPS again.
And we got to remember our density altitude. If we had the AWATS, we're probably getting 2,500 to 3,000 right now, because it is supposed to be almost 90 degrees out.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, now we're going to do back to our south heading. So 180. We've climbed a little bit, but barely. And here we have 85. 84, 85. Yeah, consistently 84, 85. Yeah, that road is a nice heading indicator. And so your indicated speed throughout this is in the low 90s, correct?
Low 90s,
and that seems to be about right?
I'd say on a day like this, yes. The other day I flew it, it was a very cool morning, and I was indicating about 96, so
96,
that's probably better.
Right.
Yeah, at least you're getting 90 miles an hour.
Yeah. Because, we're doing now, we're in the mid-80s with a bit of headwind, and then earlier we were in the high 90s. So.
And that's burning 5.5 an hour at 5,500. I'll bring it back to 5,000, which would be about 5 gallons an hour.
That's economy cruise now, right?
Right.
Yeah, you've dropped down now to 80, 78, 79, 80. Indicated you're about 85, I see, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and I guess we'll do all our different headings as well.
Oh, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty morning out here, isn't it?
Yeah, it sure is.
And surprisingly smooth on a clear day like this. So now back to the east heading. 090 heading and 84 miles an hour. Okay. And talk about the handling a little bit. Has it changed noticeably with the streamlined strut, Roger?
It does feel a little bit more slipperier. I could definitely have to change my trim just a little bit setting because it is a little bit more slippery. But as far as, if you got time in the 701, there's no difference in flying. It's just still same with 701.
Okay, so now we're back to north heading and we're indicating 89. So yeah, definitely a little bit slower at the lower RPF. That makes sense, obviously. And back to our west heading. And now indicating low 80s again, 81, 82 miles an hour. So, the nice thing about the 701 is, we picked up a little bit of speed. It actually is not a bad little cross-country machine, especially with the Rotax low fuel burn. But the nice thing is, again, the landing and stall speed is so incredibly low with this airplane. So even though you're maybe a 90-mile-an-hour airplane, you can still fly three times, the stall speed. The difference in the stall and the actual cruise speed is pretty much 3 times, which is, for any good airplane design, that's pretty much what we kind of look for. We look at, a stall speed of, say, if you've got a stall in the 30s, then you want to be able to cruise in the 90s, so 3 times that. So the 701 really does that quite well.
Well, we'll go back to a short landing. How about that?
Let's do it. So we've definitely picked up speed with the streamlined struts. It's nice to see. I know somebody had asked about the glide ratio. And again, 701's a pretty high lift, which means high drag airplane. It's not a glider. Again, the nice thing is that it's excellent control at low speeds. And things like, I know when we went with the Sensenix prop, we really improved the glide on the airplane. And then things like the streamlined struts, again, improves the glide ratio as well. But again, these relatively slow-flying airplanes are not gliders by any stretch of the imagination, but again, they have excellent controllability at those low speeds. So, we're coming back up to Mexico.
Well, I think the nice thing about putting on the streamlined struts is it gives you another project on your airplane.
Oh, yeah, because, 701's a real popular little airplane. There's probably a couple thousand of these around the world. It's been very popular in Europe, India, where they use it as a little Civil Air Patrol type trainer airplane. and Australia, New Zealand, all around the world. Lots of these flying, and adding the wing struts is really a good, like Roger mentioned, a good little project to add to your airplane.
All right, I beat the numbers. What I'll do is I'll pull back the power, bring up the nose a little bit to bleed off the airspeed to get it in the white arc, so I can add a touch of flaps, 1 notch with our new flap lever.
So here we go. Now we're in the 60s.
1 notch, lower the nose, start my descent.
And so, yep, and indicated we're now about in the 70s.
Well, I should be in the white. Crap.
Yeah, that's good.
Went up on me just a little bit. Not used to these new streamlined struts. It's a fast airplane. And go another notch of flap.
Mexico traffic, experimental turning base to final 18.
And the windsock indicates a slight headwind, slight wind from the south, so we're landing runway 18.
Yeah, we'll land over on the grass.
Oh, there we go. That's always fun. So, yeah, the parallel to the runway 18, there's a bit of grass that we can land on.
And I have full flaps. Now, ideally, you want to come in a pretty steep approach, use that power to control that sink rate. When you get very close to the runway, you start flaring. But when you start flaring, you start adding a little bit of power. Otherwise, you can develop a very high sink rate. It's a little bit different technique, but it's very easy to do.
And nice and slow. We're now indicating in the 40s.
Now pull the stick back, bring the nose up, add power, add power. Keep the nose, keep on power.
And we're indicating in the 20s right now. Of course, that's probably not all that accurate anymore.
I'm keeping the nose up because there is tall grass. I don't want to chop it all up.
And that's one of the advantages, even though this is a tricycle gear airplane, look at us right now. We're basically a tail dragger airplane. You don't need to use the nose wheel until the very end. And then, of course, the big advantage, once that nose wheel comes down, you've got a very good airplane for steering and forward visibility. So that was pretty well done. Awesome. Yeah. All right, well, that was kind of fun little project here. Definitely shows with those streamlined struts, we do pick up speed and still have amazing short takeoff and landing capabilities.